Revelation 18, verse 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, is fallen. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High, Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem HaMashiach, Yahweh Shai, for blessing me with the Spirit to do this lesson. And I'm going to read that again. This is Revelations 18 and 2. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, man. So this is what, in this video, you're going to see a clear, a clear sign that America, Babylon the Great is fallen, man. As you can see in this image alone, that things are getting worse, man. You know, you got people with tent cities, right? Bikes next to the tents. This is what America has come to, man. And America is being tormented. America is being plagued because of the lies, the rape, rob, and murder, right? And the acts that they've done to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the Israelites, according to the Bible, man, the holy people. So the powers that be, we're in the time of their judgment, in the time of their destruction, man. We're in the time of all their wealth and their riches flowing away, right? So it says, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, because you see the wickedness here in America. There's every type of devil in America, man. Right? It says, and the whole of every foul spirit, man. Homosexuality, lesbianism, bestiality, pedophilia. Everything goes on in America, man. Everything wicked is considered good in America, man. And everything that's good by means of the ways of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is considered evil, man. Right? And the Most High is not going to let the nation of Israel suffer here anymore, man. So the Most High is plaguing and bringing this world down, man. America, Babylon the Great. He's bringing, this is the engine. America, Babylon the Great is the engine of the world, man. When America falls, everything else falls, man. And the Most High knows that, because the Most High built America up. The Most High allowed America to get to a certain point, man. And then they was to be taken down. And that's what you see now. As bright as day, man. Right? It's plain upon tables. So all the wickedness, right? And every foul spirit and wickedness is out here in America, Babylon the Great. It said, and the cage of every unclean and hateful word, man. Right? It's just pure wickedness out here. So we're going to play this. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai willing. The elect be edified. Shalom.
The West is in decline. It's in decline for quite a while. With the biggest crisis of the 21st century approaching, we could see the final battle of the West against an emerging Asia and Asia Minor. In this report, I will explain why not only the Pax Americana will end, but the West's dominating role in the world as a whole. Welcome to Darken World. For centuries, Europe was the center of the world. After World War II, the United States of America took over the leading role, the most dominant force in the world. Most of the trade, industrialized economic power and science was located here. For the past 100 years, with the exception of the Soviet Union, there was no power that could compete with the West. But this has changed. After the fall of the Soviet Union, the US enjoyed the status of the only world superpower. But while America was involved fighting wars in the Middle East, another threat emerged: China. Asia has caught up as a whole. The center of innovation and advancement is not in Europe or the US today. It is the Asian tigers that are dominating the tech sector. Western liberal democracies held up the importance of free speech and political discourse for a very long time. But in the past years, something changed. People wake up.
And like I said in my last video, and they went and this guy went into it. He said that America, after the Soviet Union fell, America was known as the only superpower. But while America was over there fighting in the Middle East for oil, right, for poppy seed, for many of the natural resources over there in the Middle East, so called, right, China was coming up, and now China came up. The Soviet Union, you know, not even the Soviet Union. I'm gonna just say Russia, which Russia is the most powerful country on the earth, man. Right? America is not the most powerful country no more. America has lost troops. America has a division, right? Where the people that live in America hate America. These other countries, they might have some kind of, division, but it's not to the height of what's over here in the United States, man. So-called United States, right? And these other nations and these other countries, they can smell blood, right? They can smell the blood that America is wounded, man. America's on its last leg, man. Let's continue.
In America and cannot recognize the country anymore in which they grew up. People in Europe hear voices that are pushing for authoritarian politicians and parties. People are divided and stop debating with each other. It seems like the pressure on Western societies is increasing with every minute. And then there's the third world, war-torn, abused, and underdeveloped. It looks into the direction of the West with doubt, fear, and paranoia. But slowly, they too have a higher and higher standard of living. And with China, they have a new potential partner for trade. Let's look into the internal problems first, because right there, we will find the biggest threats that could tear down Western society faster than any army in the world. The political economist Benjamin Friedman once compared modern Western society to a stable bicycle whose wheels are kept spinning by economic growth. With that forward propelling motion slow or cease, the pillars that define our society, democracy, individual liberties, social tolerance, and more, would begin to tether. Our world would become an increasingly ugly place, one defined by a scramble over limited resources and a rejection of anyone outside of our immediate group. Should we find no way to get the wheels back in motion, we'd eventually face total societal collapse. Such collapses have occurred many times in human history. No civilization, no matter how seemingly great, is immune to the vulnerabilities that may lead to a society to its end, regardless of how well things are going in the present moment. The situation can always change. Putting aside species-ending events like an asteroid strike, nuclear winter, or a deadly pandemic, history tells us it's usually a plethora of factors that contribute to collapse.
See, the thing with these other nations and with people in general is the fact that they believe that they have control over what's going on, man. When in no way, shape, form, or fashion do they have any control, man. This is all the will of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is controlling everything on this earth, man. A society, economic collapse happens, it's because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua said so. If a society collapse, it's because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua said so. If there's a third world war, which is going to be, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua said so, man. And he wrote it already and said that it was going to happen, man. So whether you want to try to keep the wheel spinning and bring peace, and you got all these protests with peace and no war and this and that ain't going to happen, man. The Most High is ready to redeem his people by ways of Yahushua, his son, man, by the Messiah. So Hey, we almost out of here, man. The Most High is done with seeing his people at the bottom, right? The Most High is done with seeing the hell that is being put on his children, man. Which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the true Israelites. And you are the only nation that matters here on the earth, man. And these other nations, they know that. The leaders of these other nations, they know that. They know that the Israelites are everything. If there were no Israelites, there would be no need for this earth, man. All you other nations are here for is to serve the Israelites. Right? That's it.
One of which is the economic decline in standard of living we have in the West. For decades, the standard of living is silently declining, especially in America, where most jobs generated enough income for a house and 2 cars back in the 50s. Today, most young Americans can only dream of owning a home. One sign is the romanticized van life trend you can see on social media or YouTube. The economic conditions in the US are so bad that many people have to live in a car because rent is too high for most jobs. For decades, the United States of America were the role economic model and stood for prosperity for half of the globe. But these times have passed. 2008 was the last nail in the coffin of the American dream. Unfortunately, this leads us to the social conflict that is brewing in the US. The wealthier a nation is, the more tolerant its society will be. If there are hopes for massive gains for everyone, it's easier to accept and be more tolerant to other groups. But when wealth is disappearing, so is the tolerance.
So, like he said when people have wealth, there tends to be peace. You know, when there's a ruler and a nation that treats its people well, you don't have turmoil. You don't have chaos, man. This is Sirach chapter 10, verse 1. It says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man, meaning a wise man, is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself. So if you have a judge, if you have a king, if he's wicked, right, the people under him are going to be wicked. If he's righteous, the people under him are going to be righteous. So it says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. So his army is going to be a reflection of him. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. So you get wicked rulers, people are going to be wicked. You get thieves and murderers. What are the people going to be? Thieves and murderers. Right? When you get a man that does not care about righteousness and the order that Yahweh Shem Yahushua set up, people are not going to care about that, man. Right? And that's what you see going on in America right now. This place is waxing worse and worse. All hell is breaking loose. It's getting more wicked. People are turning further away from the Most High. And hey, guess what? That's because the Most High wanted that way. The Most High has a remnant of his people that's going to turn back to him. Right? There's only a remnant that's going to turn back to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, and that remnant is called the elect of the nation of Israel, man.
From religion, race, to political views, everything can cause massive cracks to rip apart the society. And the US is in a very bad state at the moment. The important question is, for how long can the US endure those conditions before heading into an escalation of the conflict? If things don't turn around rapidly in the next years, we could see an implosion of the society in the US, and paired with all the small arms in the country, the possibility of civil war. While this sounds like the plot for a disaster movie, so does any summary of the last 2 years. A poll demonstrates that negative partisanship and other forms of extreme political polarization now appear to be permanent features of American political life. Among Republicans, 52% believe it's likely that there will be a civil war in the United States in their lifetime. The proportion among Democrats is only slightly smaller, at 46%.
So here it is. You got 52% of Republicans believe that it's going to be a civil war, man, a race war. And that's what the elites want, right? And 46% so-called Democrats and Republicans, but the Democrats believe 46% is going to be a civil war, man. And it is. We believe 100% is going to be a civil war, a race war, a class war, a war in the realms, right? Why? Because Yahweh Shem Yahushua said so, man. Everything is because Yahweh Shem Yahushua said so, man. Right?
While 50% of independents share that view. While 50% of respondents were willing to rule out using violence or taking up arms against the government to protect the country from radical extremists, 26% of those who participated said that political violence could sometimes be justified. Fact is, the American people understand that their democracy, their society, are in deep trouble, but they do not agree on who or what is the cause of the problem, and do not share a common understanding of basic facts. To make matters worse, there is a kind of sinister synergy between America's democracy crisis and other serious problems facing the country, which risks creating a state of collective paralysis. But the world outside the West is not stopping. On a global scale, the West will probably lose the position of power to Asia. The West is currently buffeted by the tide of isolationism and fragmentation, while in the East, a network of relationships takes shape along the ancient trade routes. The decisions being made in today's world that really matter are not being made in Washington, London, and Paris, but Beijing and Moscow. One reason of the optimism across the heart of Asia is the immense natural resources of the region. British Petroleum estimates that the Middle East, Russia, and Central Asia account for almost 70% of total global proven oil reserves and nearly 65% of proven natural gas reserves.
So all these other countries, Russia, Iran, the people in the countries in the so-called Middle East, right? Let's take that back. Slovakia.
Middle East, Russia, and Central Asia account
Central Asia, Russia, and the countries in the Middle East, they account for more than 70% of oil and gas, man. So what does that leave America? So now you're seeing why there has to be a war. Because America, all they have done is go and conquer these nations, take their resources, right? But now America can't do that because these nations are coming together and they saying to America, if you touch one of us, you touch all of us, man. It ain't going to end well for you. And America is seeing that now. And they're mad and they're scared at the same time, man.
for almost 70% of total global proven oil reserves and nearly 65% of proven natural gas reserves, without including Turkmenistan. There's also plenty of rare elements like silicon, dysprosium, and terbium. The war in Ukraine shows that direct access to resources is paramount in times of conflict. While Russia has a weak economy at the moment, it does have access to vast resources on its lands, something that could be the key to survival. On the other hand, Europe is getting dragged down to earth, facing the biggest energy crisis in its history. Europeans celebrated a concept called soft power, which involves the resort to dialogue, mediation, and other strategies that avoid military action. But the embracing of soft power was simply a way to evade reality. And soon the Europeans discovered that soft power was soft, and that they needed hard power to shape events. The question about the future is not whether it will be defined by competition, because it will be, but whether competition will be managed. EU members must realize that in our complex and conflictual world, size matters, and that on their own, even the largest EU countries are just small fish in a big pond, inhabited by whales like the United.
And the EU is going to turn on America as well, man. NATO is going to turn on America, man. Right? It's going to happen, man. Everybody's going to turn on America because they know how America get down. Right? But people are, here it is. You got all these countries, they hate America. And the people that live in America, they hate America, man. And people have been nothing but stressed, depressed, right? Suicidal. They have mental health here in America, man. People are mourning. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 1. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, the signs, right? What you see in signs here in this video. Behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, man. So that great number is going to be a lot of things taking out people in great numbers, man. Diseases, famines, right? The sword, gun violence, this and that, man. Right? It says, and the way of truth shall be hidden, because people are not going to have the knowledge of the things that are going on. This truth that's going out throughout the four corners of the earth now by the brothers on the highways and hedges teaching, right? That's not going to be no more, man. People are gonna run and scratch and dig for this truth, and they're not going to be able to find it, man. It's going to be hidden. It says, and the land shall be barren of faith. Nobody's going to have faith no more. Right? The little bit of faith that people have in America right now is slowly dwindling, man. Right? Verse 2. But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest. Right? Sin, wickedness shall be increased. The things that you see now is going to increase, man. The wickedness you see now is only the beginning. It says, but iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago. And the land that thou seest now to have root, shall thou be wasted, Salakia, shall thou see wasted suddenly, man. So, hey, America's about to be wasted suddenly, man. America's about to be a third world country. You're not even going to recognize America soon. You know? Continue.
States, China, and Russia. Only together can the EU members protect and promote the interests and values on the world stage. Especially China will try to shape the world after their bidding. China and Russia are currently in a difficult relationship with the United States, following the imposition of duties on China and sanctions on Russia. For the first time, the two great powers are considered competitors and rivals. In the 2017 and 2018 US Strategy Paper Series, America's decline is impossible to disentangle from China's rise. So it's natural that the rapid climb of the Middle Kingdom back to its historic global primacy dominates discussion of the civilization state. Under Xi's rule, China has penetrated the Western consciousness. Xi believes that a civilization carries on its back the soul of a country or nation. China is now the only country in the world which has amalgamated the world's longest continuous civilization with a huge modern state. This has allowed China's traditions to develop and adapt in virtually all branches of human knowledge and practices, such as political governance, economics, education, art, music, literature, architecture, military, sports, food, and medicine. Unlike the ever-changing West, constantly searching after progress and reordering its societies to suit the intellectual fashions of the moment, China draws on its ancient traditions and wisdom, and its return to preeminence is the natural result. With each day passing, the West looks weaker and weaker, while the competition is getting stronger. Everything is pointing towards conflict between East and West, and this time, it will not look good for the West. On the other hand,
In other words, they're saying it's not going to look good for America. Because, like I said, America has internal issues and external, man. These other nations, they don't like America, and these people that live in America, they don't like America, man. So, where's America going to go? Where's America going to hide, man? Nowhere. Are they going to try and make friends and make peace? No, these nations ain't trying to hear peace no more, man. They want America gone, because America has been the bully. America has been the big bad wolf for hundreds of years, man. Now these nations that were weak, now they say they are strong, man. Right? So let me get this real quick, and we're gonna close out. This is Proverbs 29, because like I said, people here in America, they don't know which way to go, man. They out here, they just oblivion to things that are going on. They in la la land. They're stressed, right? They don't know how to make. They're not making ends meet, right? They don't know whether to pay their rent or put food on the table. They don't know whether to put food on the table or pay their light bill. They ain't got enough for both. It's getting that bad here in America, man. Right? Proverbs 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Who are the righteous? The Israelites, man. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All the Israelites. Right? So it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So it's clear that the wicked are in rule. Right? And who's the wicked? The so-called white man, Esau Edom. He is in rulership right now. So when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. This is why you see people mourning, because the wicked are in rulership, man. Right? The Arabs are not in rulership. Right? The Africans are not in rulership. The Arabs are not in rulership. The Chinese are not in rulership. I mean, they have countries, they have their country, but who rules the whole earth, man? So-called white man, whether they're Russian, Ukrainian, Yugoslavian, Luxembourg, British, American, they're the so-called white man. They are Esau Edom. And they run the earth, man. Right? So from there, I'm going to get this last one. I'm going to close out. This is Proverbs 29. I'm going to jump down to 6. And it says, in the transgression of an evil man, there is a snare. That's right. So it's a trap, man. All America does is put you in the trap, man. Whether it's going to school, right? Going to a trade school, right? Your taxes, right? Your home, your car. It's all a trap, man. Right? What's that thing? What they got with school? What is it? When you get loans, student loans, you get grants, things of that nature. You always gotta pay that back. Well, you're gonna always be in debt. Credit cards, that's to put you in debt, man. It's a trap, it's a snare, man. Right? So it says, in the transgression of an evil man, there is a snare, but the righteous doth sing and rejoice. The righteous considereth the cause of the poor, man. So when you're a righteous man, you consider like, man, these people right here don't have, let me go out and get them stuff. Let me go out and help them, man. Let me help them. Right? Let me show my humanity, my humanitarianism, man. Right? How the Most High told the Israelites to treat their brothers, right? According to His law. But America's law, hey, whatever, man. Here it is. You got restaurants that every night they have food left over. Instead of giving it to people that need it, they throw it away. Right? You don't want to help nobody. You want every single grain that you produce here that's used for some food, you want to get paid for it to be used, man. You need to get paid. It says, the righteous considereth the cause of the poor, but the wicked regardeth not to know it, man. The wicked don't care who's poor. The wicked don't give a damn who ain't got. The wicked don't care if you homeless. The wicked don't care if you if you eating out of a garbage can, but yet you'll say Americans and America is the greatest city in the on the greatest country in the earth, man, on the earth. No, it's the most hypocritical country on the earth, man. And it's the most evil country on the earth in the sight of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. When you out here in America, you take any city, man, you see the downfall of society in all of these cities today, man. This is why Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is going to bring this place down. So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Wakar Kadash for blessing me with the spirit to do this lesson. Hey, this place needs to go out in order for the Israelites to dwell safely and for it to be a righteous rulership, man. This whole kingdom has to be destroyed. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is going to do that, man. So Israel, you better repent. Seek the Most High, because the future that you thought you was going to have here, you're not going to have, man. Until next time, Israel, shalom, love you.
And Western societies may not meet with a violent, dramatic end. In some cases, civilizations simply fade out of existence, becoming the stuff of history, not with a bang, but a whimper. The British Empire has been on this path since 1918, and other Western nations might go this route as well. As time passes, they will become increasingly inconsequential, and in response to the problems driving their slow fade-out, will also starkly depart from their values they hold dear today. Western nations are not going to collapse, but the smooth operation and friendly nature of Western society will disappear, because inequity is going to explode. The cycle of civilization has happened before and will happen again, and as the old saying goes, history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. What is unique this time around is that the span of Western civilization is global, reaching into all corners of the world, engendering major stress on Earth's planetary boundaries. One conclusion made here is that in the end, humanity will survive this transition, but only in smaller numbers, with a circumscribed view of human society, hemmed in by permanent ecosystemic damage to Earth's planetary system. 3 years doesn't sound like a lot, but think about the past 3 years, and now. Think again, what could happen in the next 3 months? This exactly is the question in this video here, where I describe how the near future could look like. As an alternative, you can watch this video here, where I talk about the resource situation in Europe this winter. My name is Dennis. Thank you for watching and goodbye.